I've spent the last 2 years teaching business owners how to master AI, and this is the same 6 step process that I use to teach them. Let's get into the first step, which is learning to prompt. And I know that sounds super beginner, but just stick with me here. The first thing that we need to understand is that ChatGPT is a tool, it is not a search engine. And there are still so many people out there who are using it like a search engine. Here's an example to explain exactly what I mean. Let's say we have 2 different students that both have the same assignment to write an essay on the Civil War. This is student A and this is student B. And student A will go and they will ask ChatGPT, hey, write me an essay on the Civil War. That student will turn that in and ChatGPT will give it a response, but it won't be that great. Then student B will come along and write a 400-word prompt where it lists the persona, who is writing this essay, what is the context of this essay, what time period is this essay, and what is your goal in writing this essay. Student B is going to get a much more accurate answer. So in this scenario, student B used ChatGPT like a tool and student A used it as a search engine. And here's how we can prove that. Let's say student A puts their prompt back into ChatGPT. They are going to get a different answer from ChatGPT every single time. Then let's say student B comes along and puts his much larger prompt back into ChatGPT. He's going to get a very similar answer. So that is the goal in prompting, is you want to be able to predict the outcome. You don't want the tool to be able to run along on its own and try and guess what you're asking it to do. Now that we understand how to prompt, we are going to be getting into step 2, which is picking your tool. So what AI model is best for you? If you're a beginner, I recommend picking between ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Now, what is the best way to figure out what tool is best for you? Through my testing, the way I figured out to be the best way to test your tool is by taking your 400-word prompt, something that you do every single day and you're going to expect to do a lot, and you're going to paste it into all 3 tools. And then from there, whichever one gives you the best output consistently, you're going to stick to that tool for that type of task. Step 3, now that we know how to prompt and we know which tool we're going to use, we're going to do a little something called FAFO. And for those of you who don't know what FAFO means, it means fuck around and find out. Now, that's going to sound super cliche, but stick with me here. One of the most interesting things to understand about AI is that nobody knows what they're doing yet. Everyone is figuring this out at the exact same time, and that's where this comes from. You should be spending hours messing around with the tool, trying to figure things out. Like, let's say you have a project that you aren't sure if AI is capable of doing. There is no harm in trying anyway. You are learning, and you need to continue to learn and get a better understanding of what all the models are capable of. All right, let's speed things up here. For step 4, we have something that I call mapping the toolscape. Now, what does that mean? Why is it important? So this is just simply getting an understanding of what tools have already been created and what tools are already out there. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, but you just told us about the tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. And I know I did, but there are more tools than just that, including image generation tools, video generation tools, product management tools. There's so much to learn. And again, this adds to our theme of getting a better understanding of what is out there so that you know what AI is capable of. Now, steps 5 and 6 are going to truly take you to an expert level. If you're able to master these 2 steps, this will truly take you to 1000x plus efficiency. And I know that sounds completely ridiculous, but listen to what they are. Step 5 is AI automation. I've spent the last 2 years doing this, and this is exactly what it says it is. It is literally automating your time and automating your workflows in order to basically get more time out of your day. Now, that is the simplest definition of what it is, but here's an example that will give you a better understanding of what this is truly capable of. All right, for the sake of this example, let's say that I work for a dentist and I am their customer service person. I answer the phone calls, I input appointments, I do all of that scheduling. Well, an AI automation can do that entire job for you. It is going to answer the calls, it will speak to people on the calls, it's going to schedule the appointment, it will send the doctor a notification, it will send the patient a notification, and it is literally a full scheduling assistant. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of how that one's actually built, but again, this stuff will take you to expert level. Now, the last one, vibe coding, which is still fairly new, is basically exactly what you think it is. It is being able to code without actually knowing how to code. So this is important because it allows you to create basically anything you want, a Chrome extension, an app, a website, basically whatever software it is you want to create, you are now able to create it yourself without even knowing how to code. Now, I know that was a shit ton of information, and thank you so much for staying this far into the video. As promised, I'm going to be giving everyone a free playbook of everything that we talked about today, but way more in depth, and all you need to do in order to get it is comment prompting guide. And follow. You also have to follow.